This is the plaintiff, Barry Goodman. He says he runs a medical transport company, and they transfer cancer patients to and from the hospital for medical care. The defendant worked for him, and when he quit, he stole 5 uniforms and also left him with an outstanding ticket for running a red light. The guy refuses to make good on the money he owes, and he's going to exercise every legal right to get the $235 he's due. This is the defendant, Willie White, Jr. He says the plaintiff gave him a few used items of clothing to wear while he was on the job and never once mentioned he had to return them. As far as the red light ticket goes, he never ever went through a red light, never ever got a ticket, and is never ever going to pay for something he doesn't owe. He's accused of aggravating an employer.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff runs a medical transport company, claims the defendant stole 5 uniforms before he was fired, but the defendant says the plaintiff gave him a few used uniforms and never mentioned returning them. It's the case of I'm transporting your uniforms to me.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mr. Goodman, you are suing Mr. White on behalf of the transportation company that you manage. You've asked us not to mention the name. For $235 for a red light ticket and uniforms that he refused to return after his employment ceased. Tell me what's going on.
We hired Willie in October 21st of 2013. And then about a month later or so in November, he said his mom was very sick and he needed to take care of her upstate New York, and he would come back. Willie was a good driver and a good person without company. He
what kind of transportation?
An ambulate. We drive dialysis clients, chemo, cancer patients, so they depend on a driver being there and being there on time. Willie went upstate. The next time we saw him was December 8th. He came to a party. He picked up his bonus and then left. We never saw him since. I then called him following the party in December and said, Willie, what's going on? How's your mom? And he told me that his sister would be coming down and help him out here in Long Island, and he'd be back to work tomorrow. I put him in touch with my dispatcher. They set up a time and a day. He never showed up at 2 o'clock. I had dialysis and cancer and patients late because Willie never showed up. We had to cover his shift. And then the following thing I did is I sent him a letter indicating January that he's being dismissed for abandonment of his job. He needs to turn in his uniforms as per contract, which I have here, which I will submit, his uniform. Then my owner received a traffic ticket that he got on November 6th. We watched the video.
How do you know it's him?
Okay, I have here.
Did you get a traffic ticket?
No, it's a red light ticket.
Red light?
A red light summons.
Snapped photo?
Yep.
Ah, so diabolical.
What we did with the
Everybody
red light.
hates those things until someone's speeding right into their car, then they're really grateful for those things.
It's sad. It's sad that he got it. It was sad that anybody
So he got it. No, it's not sad. It's good that he got it if he was speeding.
He wasn't speeding. He made a right turn. He made a right.
Well, if he was violating the law, I'm glad that he got it. I'm glad that you got caught. I'm glad that the picture was taken. You're not following me. I'm saying the exact opposite of what you're saying. All right, so let me see the ticket.
Along with the ticket, I can show you the day and the time that he got it. This is the trip ticket where he picked up a customer before and after, shows that he was driving 819 on that date.
Got it.
This is
driving
the
van number 819, which you can see in the picture?
We can see clearly. You can see the number there. This is the procedural manual contract that he signed that indicates that if he receives any don't go away. If he receives any traffic tickets, if he receives any traffic summonses, et cetera, number from the procedural manual, and that was signed. And then the last item that I have for you is his uniforms, that when he received it, he was to turn it upon dismissal, and he was well aware he was dismissed.
What's going on, Mr. White?
How you doing, Judge? The red light ticket, I have no clue on that. I even got it.
Well, that's often the case, but let me tell you something. I'm looking at van number 819. Is that the one you were driving on that day?
I would drive different vans.
Okay, well, it looks like you were driving 819 on 11/6, since here are the ticket transports. Is this your signature from the people you picked up before and after and were driving to and from?
This is the van. Yes, ma'am. What happens is...
So who got that ticket if not you?
what happens is.
Are you convinced now that that's your?
That's not. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying because what happens is the pickup times. The pickup times, if you see 11:45 pickup, there's a 1 o'clock pickup. I can't, and then they say I get the ticket at 12:09 to Springfield.
Who'd you loan your truck to for 1 minute to make a bad right? Because you're driving it before and after. How much more evidence do we need that it's you?
The thing is, ma'am, we drive different vans.
Yes, but on that day you were driving 819 because I see the ticket before and the ticket after. So I know you had 819.
So if you get a traffic ticket on the job, does the employer have to pay for the ticket or do you pay?
Well, legally, I believe the employer has to pay, but the company, it was the guy's fault. So
if you're driving it,
if I'm driving it, then I think I'd have to pay.
does the employer at all have to pay?
No, because it's my responsibility. It's my fault.
Really good answer. Going inside the courtroom.
I had that van. I'm gonna have to go with I had the van, but from where this is to where these pickups is, I'm not around there. So if you get the map, you can see 12:45 and 12:30. And
where'd you go for lunch that day?
I didn't have lunch. I don't have lunch. We don't get lunch.
Okay, hand over this. I'm pretty convinced you got that ticket. Now let's talk about how much was the ticket, by the way?
It's $80.
Okay, and you don't deny that according to the office manual, you guys are responsible for tickets that you get, right?
I never seen that.
Okay, did you read the office manual before you signed it?
No.
Okay, but you did sign it, right?
Because I didn't sign anything. The only thing I signed was things that saying that we...
On 10/18/13, I have received my new updated policy and procedural manual. I am aware that I'm responsible for all policies and procedures included. Willie White, is this your signature?
Right, but I didn't see anything about a ticket.
Oh, you didn't bother to read it.
No,
okay, but you had a chance to read it.
sign.
Put your hands down. You had a chance to read it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let's talk about the uniforms. Do you have the uniforms here?
Yes, ma'am. I have 4 shirts and a jacket.
You signed this saying you had 5 shirts. Here,
Okay.
show it to him, will you?
Okay,
Let me
5.
see the shirts.
Here's that. Here's all that.
So how many shirts do
It's
you
4
have?
shirts.
So why does he have to sue you to get the uniforms back? When you signed, did you see the agreement you signed that you give the uniforms back if you quit or if you stopped working there?
I didn't even read it, nothing, because it was just
Yeah,
like...
but how about his 22 phone calls to you asking you to please return the uniforms?
This is what happened, Judge. Your Honor, what happened was my mother, right now she lost both her legs because of diabetes and everything.
Sorry about that.
Okay, he kept calling, he was calling, and I wanted to come back, you know what I mean? I came back for the party because somebody said, come, which is a mutual friend of ours that's there. So I reached out to him to give the uniforms back. But by that time, I was keep getting, letters, phone calls, and in the letter, one of the letters never said anything about a red light ticket.
Yeah, because they didn't know about it until they got it in the mail later.
Right,
But so why didn't you, when you went to the party, why didn't you just return the uniform?
Because I was planning on going back.
No, it's because you wanted to collect the bonus check.
Absolutely not. The bonus
How much was the bonus check?
$30.
All right, so
I have it in my car. It's still sitting up in the thing. I didn't do anything. Yes, ma'am.
What do you do all day?
I drive trucks.
Okay, but in all these months you haven't had a chance to cash a check or return the uniform?
It was cash money. It was.
If you're I see.
It was cash. So I didn't really pay no mind.
So you still have the cash up on your visor? Is that what you're saying?
I do. I mean,
I guess you have it though. All right. So, but when you hear the guy like leaving all these messages to return the stuff, why don't you just not? But why don't you just? It's so easy not to burn a bridge and leave a place with a good feeling in their hearts and a good taste in their mouth.
I tell you that why, Judge. At that time when they hired me, Barry, we, mutual friends, and Wayne, they're like a family. You know what I mean? And they're really good with me. And I didn't feel like telling them that I wasn't coming back at that time because. He sat me down, we talked, I even shed a tear.
So you decided to make it worse and not return his stuff because he's such a nice guy?
I was going to give it to one of the guys that was there because...
But you didn't.
Because I tried to get in touch with him and I didn't.
So why don't you just drop it off and say, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so sorry, but there are big health problems with my mom and I've got to go to a higher paying job.
Because I felt
why did you switch jobs?
I didn't switch jobs at that time.
You were purely taking. So why would anybody not understand that you need to quit?
Because they was dependent on me. Because like he said, I was a good driver.
So they were depending on you. So your way of paying back that faith was to act even 100 times worse.
Absolutely not. It wasn't.
It was awful.
It was awful. And like I said, if I can apologize, I would.
Apologize.
Barry, Wayne, I apologize, truthfully. Yeah, for real, because like I said,
Sometimes, listen up to me, because I want to tell you two things. Number one, I feel for you because I also have a father with elderly onset diabetes, and he's lost several toes, and he's managed not to lose the limbs, but it really looked like it was going to happen. And I know the kind of demoralizing feeling that can give to somebody.
The year before, I lost my father, so it was like I was going through a whole lot.
I understand.
So it was like,
I understand. But, we still have to do what we got to do because life goes on and, you still got to do what you got to do. And it's not even like somebody's asking you to paint the Sistine Chapel. This is like nothing. Just return some clothes so they don't have to sue you in court for it. Douglas, will you please take the clothes and take it over there?
Absolutely.
As far as the ticket is concerned, it's $80. The missing shirt is $20. My verdict is for the plaintiff in this case in the amount of the $100. Good luck, everybody.
And so the plaintiff does get what he sued you for out of this, and what are you thinking as you come out of this courtroom?
it's nothing really to say. He's right, and I just hope he forgives me for it. That's it.
And when you reached across and shook your hand, what were you thinking right there?
I don't know. I was thinking that thank God it's over, and I just hope he accept my apology. That's it.
All right, okay. Looked like he did. Okay, head right down this way. There he goes. Good man, or?
He's a good man, and I'm sorry to lose him, but sometimes the choices that we make today will affect tomorrow and forever. But he is a good man. I'm sorry sorry about his mom, and hopefully he can move forward positively in his life. Mm-hmm. We miss him.
He said he hopes you accept his apology.
We accept his apologies, no question about it. This is the pride of our company.
All right, out to the street in Harvey.
Gotta say, the defendant in this case was smart because by bringing the clothes in, he avoided what could have been a pretty big monetary judgment.